I'm Tiffany, and this is Towering TBR. So today I want to talk about my favorite graphic novels. I actually had to split the graphic novels and the graphic memoirs because there were just so many, and this video would be really long. So we're going to focus on just the graphic novels. So I'd like to start with the two that I don't have because I might forget by the end of this list. So the first that I want to recommend is Days of Sand by Amy DeJong. It is a gorgeous graphic novel about a New York reporter going to take photos of the Dust Bowl. And when he gets there, it's with him living in New York, he doesn't feel like this stuff really affects him, and it's just kind of a checklist to do, can I get a picture of you with no food in your house and empty cupboards? And he starts it off like it's a checklist, but by the end, he really grows to care for the community, and he gets close to the people, and when they die or when their farms can't produce anything and they have to leave, he's really affected by it. And I think one of the I love the art style, but I also really like the juxtaposition of actual photos of the Dust Bowl and then the author recreating it with their art. It was just really good. The second one that I don't have is All My Heroes Are Junkies. I don't remember who that's by, but I'll put this up too. And this is really, I actually like the story quite a bit more than the art. The art, in my opinion, is just kind of comic book style, and that's just not my favorite. But this girl goes to rehab and makes friends with another addict there, and they kind of talk and reminisce about all the people in their lives who also had problems with substances. And as she's getting closer to this guy, their friendship really starts to blossom. And then I don't want to say what else happens because it would be a spoiler, but I found the ending really compelling, and yes, I really liked that. All right, now I can talk about the ones that I've got in person. So this is Thornhill by Pam Smye. This is about this creepy old manor, and there are two timelines, one in the past and one in the future, and it's very ghosty and haunty. Some of the book is just art with no words, and then there are also pages that are diary entries. So it's not quite a graphic novel in the way that you would see pictures with everything, but I think it was a smart way to do it because it would have been a lot of text on one picture, and I'm glad they decided to do it this way instead. I also want to talk about The Magic Fish by Trung Le Nguyen. This I read earlier this year and absolutely loved. It's about a boy and his mother, and they have immigrated to the United States from Vietnam. And so to practice their English skills, they pick up fairy tales. And so we get to see some different fairy tales, quite a few of them queer, which was nice. And then the boy tries to use fairy tales to come out to his mother. He doesn't know how to describe and communicate in Vietnamese very well. So he tries to use these stories, and it's just this beautiful, wholesome story. And this introduced me to fairy tales that I hadn't heard of before. So I really, really love this one as well. I read Bingo Love earlier this year and gave it 5 stars. This was such a great comic. It's about these two women. They first met when they were teenagers and became best friends. And then they also realized that they had feelings for each other. And so they became girlfriends. But their parents really disapproved and they were separated. And they meet later, 50 years later, and reconnect. And it's just this beautiful second chance love story. And just, I love it. It's so good. Oh, this is by T. Franklin as well. I forgot to say that. One that I think was not my favorite, but I still think it was really, really good, is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This, I think, has just recently been adapted into a Netflix show, which I haven't seen. But this is a really heartwarming story about two boys in high school. One is openly gay. The other thought he was straight. But when he starts getting feelings, he starts questioning his sexuality. And, you know, there are other teen issues in here that they discuss. And it's so sweet. And yeah, I think there are at least 4 out now. I've read the second and third and really enjoyed them as well. So definitely would recommend this for teens. Or if you just want something wholesome, pick this up. Another one that I really liked was The Attack by De Villiers and Chaperon. And this is a story about a man. He's a surgeon, and all of a sudden there is a suicide bomber in their city, and a lot of people get hurt. And he works to save some of the people who were injured in the attack. But then he later finds out the suicide bomber was his wife, and it says it on the back. Like, I'm not spoiling it. He finds that out, and he kind of goes on this journey to figure out how did his wife get so radicalized that she would not only take her own life but the lives of all these other people. And he kind of just retraces her steps to kind of figure out what happened, and I just found it incredibly compelling, and I really like the art as well. Down to my last 3. I want to recommend 100 Nights of Hero by Isabel Greenberg. This is a retelling of the Arabian Nights tale. It's about this woman whose husband leaves, and he knows that this other guy wants to get with his wife. And so this other guy comes over and wants to sexually assault her. And she and her maid come up with these really creative stories so that he won't rape them. Like, it's kind of a terrible premise, but like that is what it is. And then the woman and the maid are secretly in love, and yeah, don't want anything to do with this guy. And yeah, I just really love the fables and the like stories, and a lot of them were new to me, so I really enjoyed it. I think the art style is pretty interesting, and yeah, I've really grown to like it quite a lot. Another comic that I'd like to recommend is Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. You might have seen in my earlier video, my autumnal vlog, I'll link it if it's already up, that I just got the 10th in the series, and I'm really excited to continue. But the premise of this is it's a science fiction about 2 different races that are at war. A moon and a planet are fighting. And both of these characters are in the military. And so, so they escape and are on the run, and they conceive a baby. And a bunch of people want to hunt them down and kill the baby because they feel like it's just an abomination. Like, these are 2 warring sides. They never should have mixed. So they want to kill all of them. And yeah, they just go on this like crazy adventure and meet all sorts of different characters. And it's a really intense story. Lots of graphic stuff. So definitely for grown-ups. But yeah, love this. And then I feel like I've said quite a lot about Nimona, but this is I think my absolute favorite graphic novel. Not only is it a graphic novel, but they've also done an audio play of it with like sound effects and all sorts. But this is about Nimona. She is a shapeshifter and she decides she wants to be the sidekick of the villain. And she's constantly trying to antagonize him to like do more evil stuff. And she's like, we could just optimize your evil and get this many people. But the villain is actually quite reluctant. He doesn't really want to hurt a lot of people. And yeah, you just get to learn about their backstories and how they became who they are. And you get to meet the hero and the lovely queer backstory of the hero and the villain. And yeah, this is just absolutely great. If you're looking for something that's just fun and easy to read, definitely pick up Nimona. So those are all my favorite graphic novels. I should be posting the memoirs sometime in the future. So let me know, what is your favorite graphic novel or comic? And have you read any of these? And what were your thoughts on them? I am really looking forward to the discussion down in the comments below. Bye.